So William Barr came out the other day calling out companies that were connected with China, and China's been accused of like slave labor camps and using children in these camps. Apple was one of those companies. Do you guys
Yep.
own Apple phones?
Nope. I
Oh,
don't have anything.
I got a MacBook, but I got it like 12 years ago. I don't know if that counts. I mean, it was,
Before I
it
knew
is an Apple.
how
people who study viruses and illnesses and they don't even know infectious disease, and they can't even agree with each other, and you get different information from different people. I think, honestly, I think people are just doing the best they can. The worst thing that a politician could do is try to blame it on another politician. That's ridiculous.
right.
But I think, honestly, the task force or whatever it is, they're doing the best they can because nobody knows anything about it. How are you supposed to drag answers out of people when they don't have the answers?
Right. And the situation is so fluid, it changes every day. And they adapt to when the situation changes. And I mean, that's the best you can do. You can adapt to what's going on when it happens. I don't understand what people want that complain. I remember people were like, oh, the president let this happen. No, it happened in over 100 countries. It was gonna come at one point. It was gonna get here.
Right.
Yeah, well, Governor Cuomo the other day said it's Trump's fault that the virus made it to New York. So, being the good leader that he is of his state, he goes and blames somebody else for the problems in his state.
That's just all politics. That's what they do. Politicians, they just blame.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, I'm gonna have another. I got another one. So, what do you think about the riots and protests going on around the U.S.?
I mean, some of them are peaceful, some of them are not. You got some that are getting really out of hand. So I can understand where the president is coming from, sending federal agents. I mean, you got groups like Antifa. You got extremist groups on both sides, but you got to deal with what the one causing the most damage currently, right? Which is Antifa. I think BLM started off with good intentions, but that's kind of graduated also into violent protests. And there's no clear leadership with these groups, so it's kind of chaos. You know what I mean? There's no way to really cut the head off per se, because there's no real guidance that these groups have. Agents are in different cities, snapping these people up. We're snatching these people up. Violent protesters. I'm not talking about peaceful protesters. I mean, I agree with it. You can't just go around burning and loot and beating people up. And I mean, there's a way to do it, and that's not the way to do it.
Jared, we got your sound back on?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. So I think it's kind of funny how you have some mayors and governors supporting protests but are against church and religious gatherings, How do y'all feel about the upcoming elections? Huh? Who's going from Creepy Joe?
Yeah, I don't think any native Texan is going for Creepy Joe, man.
No. He's gonna lose if he shows up to the debates.
Who thinks he's going to show up to the debates?
He has
That's
to.
the only way he'll win if he doesn't. If he does, he's going to get beat.
Right. But it's not in him. He's one of those guys that that wants to be that wants to come off as a tough guy. You know what I mean? You've seen him in these exchanges with just regular citizens when they're asking questions about guns, and he's just gets up in their face.
You mean how he challenged that old guy to push-ups?
Yeah.
Did you see that one? Yeah. How many push-ups can you do?
Right, exactly.
So do you think he's going to win?
Not if he shows up to the debates, he won't.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I think there's more. I think more people are worried about just the way that things are going as far as the violence that they just can't. They won't support what's his name, Biden, because he's going to be for defunding the police and all this other stuff. People don't want that, you know. And there's a lot of what they call Trump supporters that are silent Trump supporters. You know what I mean? It's like you can't really come out and say you can't really wear a MAGA hat, or else you'll come into some kind of confrontation somewhere.
I mean, I think the Trump administration has a good idea of how to win the election. The same poll that he was down double figures in 2016 is the same poll that he's down double figures in now. And, you know, everybody said there's no way he's going to win or anything like that.
Right.
I think the Trump administration has a good grasp on how to campaign. I think you'll start seeing those numbers start to get more in line with each other. And I mean, once Biden comes out from underneath his little basement or wherever he's hiding out at and actually has a few debates, I mean, people are just gonna be like, this guy is not at all fit mentally to be president. Nobody in their right mind could vote for that guy when he's just not mentally capable of holding any office.
So William Barr came out the other day calling out companies that were connected with China, and China's been accused of like slave labor camps and using children in these camps. Apple was one of those companies. Do you guys own Apple phones?
Nope. I don't have anything.
I got a MacBook, but I got it like 12 years ago. I don't know if that counts. I mean, it is an Apple. What do you guys think about Kayla McKinney? Or McKinney? How do you say it? Lewis?
Kaylee McEnany or something like that.
You know? I don't know. So how do y'all think about how she's doing, man?
Oh, she's doing awesome, dude. She's mopping the floor with these with people like Jim Acosta and all these other all these other media reporters that are out there. They just can't win, and now I think they want her out because they're just getting beat, you know. And plus she's hot, so I mean that doesn't hurt.
Yeah. They can't get away with asking the same dumb baiting questions that they've always asked, you know? It's almost an accusatory question. It's like asking a question, not saying if you did something or not, but saying, since you did this thing wrong, what do you have to say for yourself now?
Right.
And she sees that coming a mile away. And she just, it's so easy for her that, you know, and of course they're getting upset. They're saying, well, you knew I was going to ask that question. Well, yeah, I did know you were going to ask that question because you keep asking the same dumb questions.
Right.